Great, thank you, and thanks for everybody for being here on a Saturday afternoon. It's not like you only have this to do, right? Really, very, very cool to see everybody here, everybody's smiling faces. And so my name's Ann Bureau. I'm with the Liberty Bells of Lansdale, and we're in Lansdale, Pennsylvania, just north of the city here in the Philadelphia area, and started the course about 14 years ago, and we're going strong with approaching 50 members at the time. I'll pass the introductions over now to Jordan Travis. Go ahead, Jordan.
Hey, I'm Jordan Travis with Acapella Showcase. I've been with the course for about 6 years. We're from Milton, Ontario, virtually for a while now, just like many or all of you. And yeah, we've been very strong. We've been very fortunate to be able to just maintain our great community online and add to the community. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So I'll pass it over to Kelly.
Hi there, my name is Kelly Adams. I sing with Scarborough Harmony Chorus. We're located in the east end of Toronto, Ontario. And like Jordan, we've been very lucky to have maintained most of our core members and to have recruited on 2 different occasions now. So I'll share a little bit more about that with you. I've been in the chorus 3 years now. And Judy.
Hi, everybody. My name is Judy Comeau. I'm in Nova Scotia. It was always Judy Comeau when I lived in Ontario. And now I'm back home, and it's now Judy Comeau again. And we're in beautiful Bridgewater, Nova Scotia. And our chorus started in June of 2017. We chartered in 2018. And we now have in the vicinity of 50 members as well, because we're still processing members that should get us over probably up to about 55 members. And I've invited Heather Lockhart to be here today as well. She's our membership coordinator. So since this is the membership meeting, I felt appropriate that she should be here with me in case anybody has perhaps any questions about anything that we do that Heather might be able to answer. So welcome, everybody. This is great.
Awesome. And Cole, do you want to mention something? Because Anne may take a minute to explain where she is as well.
Yes, I'm Ann Cold. I'm with the California Note Catchers, and we are in San Diego, California. So we are we have the outlier status in HI, but we have been an active chorus for over 25 years.
Fantastic. Oh my gosh, what a panel this is. Holy moly. And they're from all over the place, east, west, north, south. Well, I guess, yeah, Ann is the most south in San Diego. There you go. And the most north, it would be Scarborough, I guess.
I'm going to say Scarborough.
Scarborough, yeah. You got the boat. You got it. Okay, gals. We're gals and guys. Everyone who's on the line right now, thank you for being here. We're going to start it off. And Jordan, why don't you kind of tell us what you've been doing to be so successful at membership this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that if I was kind of gonna do like that elevator pitch, back in those days when we can be that close together in an elevator and talk to one another, I would say that our focus has been very much like creating positive, engaging, and educational experiences for our membership, and then basically opening that experience up to allow other people to be part of it. So as opposed to kind of just trying to create something specifically for guests, we're trying to create something for our chorus as a whole, a community, an experience for our chorus, and then basically share that experience. So very, very quickly, and it's not going to be like lots of slides or anything like that. I just want to share with you my screen. Hopefully in front of you, can you see something that says guest nights? Can you see anything? Perfect. Awesome. I saw some thumbs up. So basically, like many choruses, we've had some online guest nights. We have a team of people that kind of work together to make this happen. And these guest nights are basically to allow anyone to come in and experience as events, but basically every rehearsal is a guest night. Anyone can come out, visit, be part of it. And if I was to break that down a little bit further into kind of what we're doing to offer to people, we've offered this thing called virtual membership. So people can be part of our chorus virtually. So included in that would be our Zoom rehearsals, which are fun, engaging, educational, as I said earlier, monthly sectionals, so they can be part of that. access to current repertoire and learning tracks, which is pretty obvious if you want people engaged and part of what you're doing, and to sing, not just to watch, but to sing and be part of it. We've also had some chorus social activities. I know many choruses are doing this, where they'll have like another night or another day a week where people get together, have coffee or drink, and just chill out and chat. So we've had this great community. Included in that is our Facebook group. So we have like a private community, and these are events outside of rehearsal. In our rehearsals, really fortunate to have a great team, and Amy has been running PVIs, which are fantastic. So members can kind of go out into a breakout room, get some individual attention. We basically allow all of this to be open, so virtual chorus projects, and to our virtual members. So this opportunity, all these opportunities are not just our chorus members, but any chorus member who wants to be part of what we're doing. And this is non-auditioned, and it's basically a monthly. So at some point, we know that people will maybe be either going back to their chorus or doing something else in wherever they are. And so this allows people to be part of something until that happens. And that's in a nutshell what we've been doing, focusing very much on the chorus, on just these engaging, fun, educational experiences, and then sharing that experiences with others. And when we started opening that up, we've had up to double digits of virtual members, which is awesome. Right now we're around 7, I think, virtual members as part of the chorus, which is fantastic.
My goodness, several virtual members. That's a lot to handle too, even on a good night, even when you're there in person, right? So
Absolutely.
this is really cool. I love the idea of doing this on an ongoing basis. Now your handout that you just had, that will be available. You can make that
Yeah,
available on the
absolutely. I
website.
could send
We'll
that
post that
across.
along.
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely. Send that across. I see there's a question about do virtual members pay dues? Yes, there is pay involved. Yeah. Not as guests, but as a long-term kind of member, and that's a monthly kind of basis.
And how does that compare to your regular dues?
Pretty much the same. Yeah, because they're getting pretty much the same thing as our chorus members are. So we kind of looked at it like they're not getting a different product than what our chorus members are. They're getting the same product. So we want them to feel as though they are just part of the chorus.
Aha, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. I love it. Any other questions right now for Jordan? If you want to pop them up there, we'll be addressing them. If not, we're going to just go to somebody else. And if something else comes up, how do you place a potential member in a section? Diane from Notable
Yeah.
Blind Test.
I mean, that could be probably for all of us there. Some people come to the table kind of having an idea of what part they sing. So if they've been involved in singing a cappella music before, or potentially barbershop before, they have an idea already. If not, we're more than happy to kind of create a breakout room and do a vocal assessment just to help them find that. And we've done that with a number of the new virtual members who have had some choral experience, but not necessarily barbershop experience. So this kind of gets them accustomed to our style and also voice range. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Love it. Love it, Jordan. So we're going to go on to Kelly, and then we're going to do a little round afterwards too and go back around. The monthly amount you referred to for virtual members, Kathy from VVC's, monthly amount you referred to for virtual members, and she's still writing, so she hasn't finished that, but she will, I'm sure, at one point. 1, 2, 3. Kelly, why don't you go ahead, and then we'll address Kathy's question once it's, is that a, yeah. Go ahead, Kelly.
Okay, so I'm a teacher, so I did this teacher style. I won't take too long. I decided to go kind of step by step in terms of what we did for virtual recruitment. And I'll be honest with you, when this started, I didn't have a lot of faith or excitement about it. I kind of thought we would be skipping the recruitment until things got better, and it actually went really well. So I'm really excited to share with you what we did. We made a little poster, first of all, that has just the regular information, and it also has information about where we do meet. So hopefully one day they can come and see us in person. And that's it. So just to give you a sense, this went up on Facebook, and everyone was able to share it. And we have a chorus Facebook page. We also have decided to join Meetup. There is a small fee for Meetup, but we found it to be quite worthwhile. We've been able to connect with a number of people through Meetup. And then also local newspapers are still providing online content, so we've used them as well. I have a list of things to include in your guest night. I was the one that kind of was responsible for making a plan, and I actually have a PDF of like a step-by-step plan that you could copy and adapt to your own chorus if you need, so I will provide that as well. Our director started with introducing who we are and what we do, and just talking a little bit about what barbershop is, because not everyone who comes to visit you is familiar with it. And then we do our normal physical and vocal warm-up. This particular part I want to talk a little bit more about, and it kind of connects to a question that Jordan had, is how people choose their parts. What we ended up doing is making a recording of a tag. So the director and the section leaders each recorded their own parts, and our director was able to mix them. So as we were going through and teaching it, we could play one part at a time, and then another part, and then two parts, and then learn another part, and then three parts. So it replicated what we would do in an in-person rehearsal. We're having, you know, the baritone and tenor try together, and then the lead bass, so you could kind of feel where you fit. And then so the guests have an idea of what the harmony sounds like and where they feel like they fit in terms of the range. So it was a great introduction to the four parts. We also had a couple of members share a little bit about their experience in the chorus, what their highlights were, things they've learned. And we were fortunate enough in our January guest night to have someone who's been with us just in September share her experience of being a virtual member. We share video and audio performances, and then we give them a little bit of a preview of what the website looks like and how we learn our songs. So looking at the sheet music, looking at the learning tracks, and how we all go about practicing week to week.
Nice.
We learned a song together, so that's when we went into breakout rooms. And then at that time too, if a guest, you know, thinks they're a lead or thinks they're a baritone and they don't feel quite as comfortable as they thought they did, they could go back into the main room and be redirected. So in breakout rooms, section leaders can teach the song either using the track or kind of a sing and response. And then we all get the experience of singing with the 4-part track when we come back. Yeah, we open it up to questions, make sure we get their emails. And in the follow-up email the first week, what we've chosen to do is share the one piece of sheet music that they learned with us and the 4-part track, just so they have a little bit of time to practice with it and see if they want to join us. In the following weeks, we assign buddies, and we've done this all the time, not just during the pandemic. So the new person has like a point person to ask any questions to. We introduce our chorus leadership, provide a summary of what a normal year looks like, talk about quartets, and then we also have some social time and games. Our virtual membership is very similar to what Jordan described. We do charge $20 a month, which is a little bit lower than what our normal members pay. And then that includes their attendance at the rehearsals, the PVIs with the director, and they have full access to everything that's on our website. Yeah, so that's it from me. I'll send this information in the PDF so that it's available on the website as well.
Awesome, Kelly. That's awesome. So we have a couple of questions. What's your process for learning a song? Patricia from Seaside a Cappella says.
It's been different online than it has been in person. I generally play the whole section or the whole song in the 4-part, and then the whole section in lead. And then I kind of do a call and response. So I might sing one phrase and have people sing back. They're on mute. Yeah. And then sing another phrase, have them sing back, and then maybe do a longer section.
Anybody else have any comments on that, Jordan or Judy, or anything? Any other ways of learning, like songs? It's a good one. Online.
Obviously, you can also, like, if they don't have the music, if it's a guest night, we've just sharing the screen and having the music on the screen so that they can kind of follow along. I know that sounds simple, but being able to see that for those visual learners makes a big difference. I love the call and response stuff. I think that's fantastic. For little snippets of songs, absolutely.
Yeah, nice. And I see here also that How do you, I'm having trouble figuring out the breakout rooms, and maybe we'll take a moment to go through breakout rooms. And you have to have an account to be able to use
Yes.
breakout rooms, right? So perhaps if you're having trouble with breakout rooms, it may be because you don't have an account. So on the bottom, if you have an account, on the bottom of the screen, the Zoom screen, you'll see that there's an icon that says, not on this one, but it does say breakout rooms. And then you just click on the breakout room, and it's pretty self-explanatory from that point. But the first initial thing is you have to have an account.
And you have to be the host or a co-host,
Mm.
I think, to access it as well. So
Correct.
if you're in the chorus and you're helping as a member, you may not be able to have access to that if somebody else is the host.
Yep, exactly. So that's another thing. And online, you can do a search, Zoom search, learning about using breakout rooms. And then you'll get probably like 25 videos that you can watch. So that's a really good way also. So Judy from Scarborough says we also have the tracks provided, and that's exactly learning tracks. That's why they're there. That's why they're available. Wonderful tool to learn music. Having trouble figuring out that. Jordan, how do you convert a virtual member to an actual member? Are you planning on auditioning?
That's a great question, and I imagine everyone's different. Yes, so we kind of decided that if someone wants to become an actual member after, that they would basically go through that same process. If they really wanted to become a member of the chorus, we do have something in place where we could do that online. But I saw that somebody else, I think it was, yeah, Stuart and Diane from the Thousand Islanders. Hey guys, how many virtual members are away versus potential members? Currently, I think we only have one person or two people out of all of those people who I'd say are potential future members. Most people are actually farther away and not necessarily thinking of joining us as a member after the pandemic is finished, after we're actually in rehearsal. So it's kind of right now virtually kind of filling their bucket while maybe their chorus is not running.
Yeah, and I know Judy Comeau, you have some experience with some long distance members right now, or they're driving for 5, 6, 7 hours, So they
Yeah,
are.
and we also have our long distance member program has been in effect since we started our chorus. So we've got probably, I don't know if Heather has the exact number of long distance members. Do you, Heather?
Judy, I believe we have 6 or 7 long distance members from 3 provinces.
And one from Rhode Island and one from Texas.
Correct.
Yeah. So they work, but they're here during the summer months, those two. So, we work from, they have their own set of requirements to maintain complete membership all the time.
Mm.
They really do. Yeah.
That's awesome. And yeah, Texas, that's where all my exes are. So yeah, so good. I mean, that is a challenge in itself to balance out that. And the question would be when you have these things, I mean, as far away as that, you can't hold them to a weekly rehearsal, that's for sure.
No, not weekly, but we will have weekend rehearsals, probably 2 or 3 before area contest or before an annual show, and they are required to come to those. If they want to perform with us at those events, they are required to be in attendance. So that'll be like a Friday night and all day Saturday that they have to attend. And they have a different dues structure as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's all about what you want to do and your choices as a course. This doesn't have to be, by the way, cookie cutter. These are all like get the ideas and take what works for your chapter. That's a really important. Yeah. So California Note Catchers says Karen, have Katie Taylor as our pro team director. She's in New York and we're in San Diego. Yeah, that's quite the combination. And Ann Colt, you can talk about that a little bit, how that works. I mean, I know how great it is to have Katie there helping you, but I mean, it's seamless, right? You don't have to be right next door to be doing this stuff.
Exactly. We're lucky that Katie is a night owl, so that 3-hour difference is not as unsurmountable as it might be. But yeah, it really is. She comes in and joins the rehearsal every Monday night. She does warm up, she does coaching. We're working on a song together, and we make decisions. The music team and Katie about exactly what we want to do. So, and all of that we're able to do either with chat or a Zoom meeting, and and it's been wonderful for us.
Yeah, and that's the great thing is that members, and this is a membership forum, but it also talks about inviting guests. And I think we can be doing that, or helping, extending a hand to get a helping hand from others. If you're struggling a little bit, don't hesitate to do that. And there's a lot of people, a lot of resources that are able to just step up. And it's just a matter of a clicking of a button. It's not like taking a plane or jumping in the car or anything, right? It's just like, oh, I'll be there in 2 minutes. Thank you. And please reach out. There's a whole community of judges. There's a whole community of coaches and directors that are out there that you can reach out to. How does one attract long distance guests? Okay, so do anybody want to comment on that? Okay, Judy?
Well, in our case, it is one of the requirements is that these members all have barbershop experience. So we're not just looking for your cousin Susie from out west who just loves to sing and would like to sing because we're a chorus back east, They have to have barbershop experience. But for whatever reason, they're not able to be in a barbershop chorus right now. They're either living in an area where there isn't one, or they're living in a situation where there may be one, but they're just not able to go to weekly rehearsals every week, and other choruses don't offer them that option. So, but for the most part, they're very talented. And in the case of our two members from the States, they attended our summer sing program in 2019, and they stayed on until they left Nova Scotia at the end of the summer. And all things being equal, they would have been back here in 2020 to spend the 6 months in their summer homes here. So that's why they were admitted, because they did come in with the experience of the summer sing program.
Good, thanks, Judy. And Jordan, I think it's a little different. Jordan, you're not necessarily looking for barbershoppers, right?
No, I think that we're kind of just opening the experience up to anybody because it's a non-audition for this purpose, for the virtual membership. It's not auditioned. Anyone can take part. And in terms of how did we kind of reach out, predominantly social media, just putting those things out, word of mouth, but also having your chorus. I mean, your chorus, if your chorus is on Facebook or other social media platforms, having them share that with their friends, because that spirals out and suddenly you may attract people. We have somebody now from Montreal right now that signs on every week. We have a bunch of people, all over Ontario. It's been great. And it's one for our members as well. It's wonderful to meet new people and to have that connection. But also for those of us who have been on Zoom for a long time, we're coming up to a year in just over a month, right? And it's pretty close to it. And so these people come maybe with have not having had that Zoom experience, and they come with an exuberance and an excitement to sing again and to have a community. And I think that excitement, it comes through, just goes through the whole chorus. We feel it too, like, oh man, I remember those beginning days and how great it felt to just be together.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple more questions, a couple more comments. People are commenting on, and that's good. Thank you for answering some of those questions. Because somebody says, well, how much time do you spend on social stuff? Well, it's all about your own chapter, how much you want to spend on social stuff, because some really like to get to work. They say, okay, yeah. And they do the social stuff maybe 15 minutes before rehearsal starts at 7. And then some others, want to really blend it, both things, do a little work, do a little social stuff. And then others are just like 100% social. No, we don't want to work. We just, depends on your goals, depending on what kind of chapter. So there's a couple of others. And I just want to talk about a little bit, Cecilia, of course, is planning singing at most, long distance men and maybe want to connect with a local chorus once we get back live, absolutely. It's actually easier for some people to come to a virtual rehearsal than walking into a room. Some are. And then regarding a song, a tag, do you sing? You get them to sing with a section leader or just her part, 4 parts. Anybody want to comment on that before we go any further with the experiences? Curious about.
We haven't had a lot of live singers. We've had a couple of times where a section leader will sing her part and then everyone else on mute sings together. So we're trying to push that boundary a little bit without making our members feel too intimidated. So the next plan is to have a section, and the members will know what the section in the song is in advance, that they have to sing live with their sectional. And then the idea will be for all of us to be able to give feedback to each other. And the idea is to push people to practice a little more and to hope to kind of get our chops back, as we hopefully approach singing in person again. But we always have like a compromise. So the thing that we're going to add is if the person really doesn't want to sing it live in the Zoom, they can record themselves while they're on mute and then send it to their section leader. So we're just trying to ease people back into it.
Absolutely. That's great, Kelly. That's really, really good. So here's what.
Can I ask something, Anne?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we have done some wonderful things with Katie. She has done coaching under glass, and our members absolutely stepped up. We were so pleased that every woman ended up having a coaching experience with Katie, and the chorus learned so much. And we've done that in a couple of occasions, and she's now doing sectionals with our members. So
yeah, very good.
Yeah, it's been really good.
Wonderful. Like what a breath of fresh air for you. Thank you so much. That's awesome. So here's so there's more questions piling in. That's fine. Here's something that our perspective from Liberty Bells. So I'm in sales all my life, so you won't get slides. And the others, the teacher and Kelly's going, what? No slides? So this is what the Liberty Bells do. So I'll talk about how we get there, or how we have been getting our guests. I'll talk about that in a second. But when we have a hot guest on the line, right, as there are many fish in the sea and they're always swimming by, and it's just a matter of recognizing one and getting that carp and bringing it in. So when we get that carp, and we do bring it in, the first thing I do is I say, look, I need to meet with you to just do a vocal assessment. So I'll do it first of all, and this is not during our Monday night rehearsal. I take the time, other than that, to do all of that kind of stuff. So we do a vocal assessment. I do it one-on-one. I have them sing, whatever, happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. And then we talk about their part. So I do a vocal placement, vocal assessment. And then I say, okay, fine. So, and then get her in touch with the membership gal, and then what she does is she sends her, of course, everything about the Liberty Bells. Oh, another thing is I talk to them about who we are and what we do, which is really, really important. It's what they should expect, and we do that with every member, even virtual, non-virtual. We always have sat them down right away as they walk through the door. This is who we are and what we do, and this is what we expect. We expect our members to learn their music on their own. We don't teach music during our rehearsals. You learn that on your own. We give you the tools, and we expect that you come to rehearsal. We expect that you compete with us. We compete twice a year. We also expect that you come and perform with us. And yeah, sometimes life gets in the way. You can't be everywhere all the time, but this is the stuff that we do. This is who we are and what we do. And we're there to improve our singing. So we tell them what it is. We tell them who we are. So there's no surprises. And then if they say, well, it sounds like really it's a really busy chorus, and I don't know if I can handle this or not. Well, that's up to you. And that fish swims away, and that's okay, because there's another one that will swim up to the side of the pond, and we'll get the next fish, right? So it's all a matter of choosing who fits into your chorus, because otherwise it's always going to be a battle. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, and they're going to be leaving as soon as they come in the door. So the second step after that happens, they receive all of the documentation for the audition. So they get an audition song. We have them sing, learn the 25 first measures, so it's not the whole song. And we give them a track that has the 3 other parts on it that they play in the background when they're ready to do their audition. So the track is playing in the background with the 3 other parts. They sing to it, and of course they have no music, and you don't read the music. We do all this online as well. So when comes time for the audition time, when they're ready, and I'll talk about more details there, then we do another audition Zoom session with the music team. And that's not on a Monday night. It's not on a rehearsal night. We just set another time because our rehearsal is our rehearsal. We want to be together. We want to do these things together. We have a lot more things to do. So we have the opportunity of doing this another night, another day, Saturday afternoon. Matter of fact, we just had one at 1 o'clock before this, and she passed her audition. Wonderful singer, right? Woohoo! I know. And if there's some Liberty Bells listening, you'll go, yeah, another one. So anyway, so that's what we do. And once they pass their audition, then we sign them up on the website. But they are a member. Once they pass their audition, they pay full membership. We don't have a guest membership thing. We give them the same parameters as we would when we have our regular rehearsals. You have about 3 weeks, kind of. Within the next 3 weeks, you're going to be singing this audition song. So we have no perma-guests. Either you become a member or you say, this isn't for me. So you become a member, and we have not reduced our rate, our fees at all, because they're getting everything that every other member is getting, and every member is getting, other than being out singing somewhere, we're doing the same things, and we're providing what they need to stick together and be connected, and that's a lot of time and effort, and we're still buying music, and we're still doing the thing. So there's no perma guests. They become a member, or they decide this is not for me, and then another fish swims up. So how do you get those fish? And that would be the question right now. Does the chorus need recordings from each member of their chorus? Need recordings from each members of the chorus? Yeah. So I mean, we're starting to talk about the audition process for songs, right? So do we ask for recordings? It depends on the choruses, I think, but we can answer that. Yeah, there's Cecilia, so everybody has something different on there. They provide recordings to pass particular songs, to sing with them. I think that's a class on its own.
There's another question here. Do you find that singers are out of sync when singing together, even in small groups? And I assume that means over Zoom. And yeah.
Yeah, you go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say the lag will not allow for that. And in fact, we've created something that is a guilty pleasure of mine, which is at the end of the night, if there are any birthdays coming up, we sing happy birthday, but everyone unmutes. And it's just
absolutely beautiful,
horribly beautiful. And it is a birthday wish that you will never forget.
Jordan, I call it geese in the blender. It's like
it's awesome and it's fun, but I mean, there are some online things like Jamulus, which is like an audio program. You can connect to other singers. The lag is less, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, on Zoom, almost everything is basically muted, unless you're doing like a one-on-one session, maybe with somebody else or under glass. Yeah.
So the under glass is something that's great. We use our breakout sessions for that, and we do PVIs under glass, which 3 girls get together, and Ig does the PVI, and the others get to listen to what it is to have a PVI with someone else and go, oh, I heard that difference, right? And each it's a very small section. So you're going to work on this for the next time, just one thing to work on, right? So yeah, what does under glass mean? It's that there's, let's say there's three people in the room with one coach, and one singer will be coached by that one person. It's just under glass, meaning that the two other people who are there are going to be also coached, but they're listening to the coaching and learning from it. That's what under glass means. It also means that sometimes when you run out of wine, you put the empty glass on your head. That should be under glass. Depends on, yeah, whatever. So, as we call it also. So how do we get people in the door? We have the split is 50-50 between Meetup and individual members. It used to be like a 75-80% of your members brought in guests, right? 75 to 80%. But that has changed over the years since Meetup. And for us, Meetup has been so successful. And there's 4 different steps. And I know it doesn't work everywhere the same. But Kelly, it was good to hear that you're now on Meetup and that's working. Jordan, are you using Meetup?
That's a great question. I know that we have at one point, and with mild success. So I think that maybe right now is an even better time than before, because a lot of people are online and obviously looking for things. Yeah. I think our strongest success though has always been through social media like Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then people just sharing their advertising with their friends who are local. The problem with sometimes social media is like mine. I have people from all over. I hardly have anybody here local, right? They're all like, so if I put something on there, I know that this thing is just like, I don't want people from Kansas, I need people locally. And so Kelly, you use Meetup. I'll talk about Meetup in a second, but Kelly, you just started using it and you've seen many people interested in the course because of that, right?
A fair number. And then we do have a couple of people who are out of area, and I think they found us on Meetup as well because they're casting wider nets as well, because everything that's Meetup related is virtual. So we have 2 people right now from the US, one who knew us from before, but one who just happened to stumble upon us.
And Judy, Comeau, do you have any Meetup? Do you use Meetup at all?
No, we don't. We get really, really great local publicity.
Okay.
We really do. So between that and our a lot of people contact us through our Facebook page, I have to say. So we really, I have not, I commend Jordan and Kelly for these super programs that they're running for virtual members, but that thought never even occurred to me. I just want members. Never mind the virtual. I'm going for members. And Heather, I think, has the numbers of how many members we've gotten since September and how many members we have right now going through the paperwork process. Heather, do you want to share?
Thank you, Judy. Since September, we have gained 4 new members to our chorus, which is pretty wonderful. I mean, it'd be wonderful at any time, but particularly during COVID. And we did a virtual holiday sing. And at that time, for about a month, I guess, we had 6, I'll say outsiders. And so at this point, we have 5 prospective members who are considering membership. So I like to say that they're in process, but the 4 new members, they are members. Their paperwork has been sent to Harmony Incorporated. So I consider them brand new members. They're paying dues. But the exciting thing is that we have potentially 5 other new gals who might join us very soon.
So wonderful. And then the question is, what is the local advertising? What's that? Because that's the important stuff. Is how do we get those members in? Once you get them in, now you get the guests in is another thing. But what's the local advertising you're using, Judy?
Our PR person, who I don't know if she's here at this session today, she keeps in pretty close touch with the local newspapers and whatever social medias are out there that advertise these kinds of things, that people are looking for members. And like I said, it just never occurred to me that I would go for anything kind of temporary. So when I go for, we had 2 membership programs. One was in August, and one was during the holiday season. And I run them kind of pretty much the way I would run a membership program in every other year of my life. I sent a rundown of a 3-week program. I sent it to Ann, and you guys could have that if anybody wants it, to tell you how we run those programs, what we go through. But bearing in mind that we are 2 things, and like you, Annie, I always tell people that this is what we're about. We're an educational singing organization, and we're a show chorus. We perform and we compete, and this is very evident. So when I'm running the membership programs, there will be in every one of those sessions we have, whether it's 3 or 4 right now. In the summer, when we're able to meet up, we run a 6-week program. But the 2 programs that I've run through the pandemic, through Zoom, have just been 3 or 4 sessions. And we tell people, we give them the basic, singing posture, vocal production, and then we do musical things. And then we'll also do a whole session on visual presentation and how that happens. And then after that, at the last session, Heather will do her bit about telling them about Harmony Incorporated. And if you would like to have membership in our chorus, here's the process. Heather will go through that with them at that last Zoom session. And then once they come back and they say, yeah, I mean, a lot of them will, when they come to us, they've written and they've said, I want to join this chorus. How do I do that? So we will then go into pretty much what you do, Anne, except I never use the word audition. I do use the word vocal analysis. Audition is a scary, because it implies failing or succeeding. So I never use that word. The step number 1 is to do a vocal audition where I'll say, just make me a recording of anything. Can be as simple as happy birthday. I just want to make sure that I can have a chance to hear your vocal register, make sure we go into the right harmony part or melody, whichever you want to do. But I just want to hear your vocal range and so on. So make me a recording and send that to me. Mm-hmm. So after they do that, I say, well, that's it, you passed. If you want to proceed now, here's what we'll do. And we'll give them a chunk of, usually this current song that we're learning, which right now is a contest song that we've just handed out to the chorus in the fall, or in November, December, I guess. And it's really too difficult. So we're giving them the contest ballad that we did last year, but their mandate is to only learn 8 or 10 bars of it. They have a limit, and send me a recording of that. And then at that point, when I ask for the recording, I let them know that part of the process of being Seaside a cappella is that our members are recording all the time. It's not optional. It's just the one way that we can keep track and make sure that everybody is doing exactly the right thing. And we generally learn our music in segments. So when you send us in segment 1, honestly, if we hear things within that segment that need to be changed or fixed up or whatever, that's probably going to happen throughout the whole song. So it's just great to get it right off the bat, and then you don't have to worry about repeating your mistakes throughout the song. Mm-hmm. So as I say, we're dealing right now, even though there's a pandemic, we're dealing with these close to a dozen people that have come in since the fall, exactly as we would with our regular members.
That's really awesome. Yeah, there's no bad ideas here. They're just, some of us have different ideas. We have different versions of, and then again, it's what works for your chapter. What works for your whatever organization that you have, however you see it. One thing I wanted to share with you here, and by the way, I shared Judy's document. You just scroll up. There's been a lot of questions and comments since. So scroll up in the chat room. You'll see the document that's there, and you can just download it. And it's what Judy provided to me, and we'll also be putting it on the website so that it's beside this recording. So people have asked me and says, you know what, this this meetup thing really doesn't work in our area. Well, interestingly enough, we have the Liberty Bells and we have the North Pensman, a men's barbershop chorus. We both are on Meetup. One works, one doesn't work. We have received a lot of people signing up for the men's one, but hardly anybody, no shows. We call them no shows, right? When they don't show up. But yeah, there's 4 things, and I'm going to just want to share this with you, because if you have Meetup and you say, oh my gosh, it's really not working, there's really 4 things that you want to be doing. And one is you want to have, first of all, can you see this? Yeah. I think
yes.
You can see this. Okay, perfect. So the first thing is you want to have you choose what your how are people going to search for you, and you can put up to 20 different things in there. So singing, of course, group singing, ladies chorus. I think there's a barbershop one in there too. A cappella singing. Choose everything that you're going to have a hit. If they put in, I'm looking for a singing group, right? If what you do, if your mantra is teaching people how to sing and you don't want necessarily singers, then you say teaching people how to sing, as opposed to I want singers. We want singers to come through the door, so that's our mantra. That's how we say it. We set it up. The second thing is you want a really kind of an appealing picture that's right there, and it's very clear what we are. Female a cappella, Liberty Bells Chorus, Lansdale, Pennsylvania. Boom. So the next thing you do is when they go to, okay, so we have one attendee going on January 18th. Well, that's not really compelling. I'm not going to go if there's one attendee. But if you look at past ones, 25 attendees. And what I do is I go in, and this is an important one, because if they see there's one attendee, which is me, they'll go, oh my gosh. So I go in and I manage the attendees. And as I manage the attendees, I'm going to go through my A list here, and I'm going to see, or my B list, let's say, and I'm going to say, okay, so I know Becky's going to go, and I'm going to move her to going, right? And then all of a sudden, there's 2 people going. And it makes it way more interesting. Hang on a sec. I'm just going to go back to here. And then I go back down here, and now there's 2 attendees. So I manage those attendees, and I make sure that I click on the max attendees. So somebody looking at this don't go, oh my gosh, there's only 2 people. Well, that's a loser group, right? So you put in 25 attendees. Wow, that sounds really cool. So then what happens is I receive a notification and I respond to them right away. And the notifications come here, and then they go, hey, you have somebody that just signed up. And I say, okay, fine. So I reach out to them right away, and I send them a note through Meetup, and I say, hi, I see that you just signed up. And these are all of our people here. So if I click, I've had hundreds of people, but I keep my membership under 50 because I have to pay more if I get over 50. So I go through the list from time to time. And if I see somebody's been on there for way longer and they haven't joined us, I send them one more note and I go, yep, okay, Gabby, I haven't seen you, so I'm going to remove you from the group, and I can do that. And I keep it under 50. But I always make sure that there's good pictures. I always make sure that I follow up with these people who are joining, and I always make sure that I go through the list. And then I invite them to email me, and that's how I send them the invitation to come on a Monday night, after I've vetted them, after I've had that conversation and done the vocal assessment. I do all of that before they come join, so that I know what kind of person they are. Are they a singer, or they're not a singer, right? If they're a singer, great, then I get to the next step. So encourage members to sign in every week on, yeah. So yeah, that's a great one. So yes, I do it for them, so they don't have to do that. It takes me about 10 minutes to sign everybody up. And if they don't want, if they're not coming, then they'll send me, no, I just unsigned myself, and that's fine. So we need members to be registered on Meetup. Yes, you don't have to have all members. Like I only have about 25 of my members on Meetup, but they registered and they're there, because probably 15 of those were people from Meetup anyway, so they're already registered. So I would also love to hear what people are doing to retain members. Okay, good. We're gonna approach that. So good. Anybody want to speak on retaining members? Any of you? Because this pandemic has been kind of weird on us. Have you lost members, and how are you retaining members, Jordan?
Yeah. So I wouldn't say that we've necessarily lost members, but we definitely have people who are not actively in rehearsal with us. So all of those people who have said, yes, we want to continue with the organization, but due to my work, I'm on Zoom 9 hours a day, and the last thing I want to do at the end of the day is go on Zoom some more. Um, and so a few things that have happened. One is the board of the chorus has actually divided the chorus into small groups to basically interact with each other through phone calls, through emails, through Zooms, and in essence, just to connect with one another. I think that people still want to be part of the community. They just may not be able to be part of the Zoom experience, and so regularly connecting with those people, be it phone calls or emails. I personally try and send out emails to see if I've noticed someone has missed a few weeks. I'll just shoot an email to say, hey, we missed you. I hope everything's okay. But I also know those members who aren't on board. And every month I personally try and connect with them just to say, hey, I hope things are well. Just checking in to see how things are going, that kind of thing. And if you're ever able, you know that the door is always open. But I think that that's all just about communication. And that's the key, is that keep those lines of communication open. Obviously, there may be people at the end who have not, this is not their routine. That's the worry. Whenever we're in something that's a routine, it's comfortable. We're like, hey, this is our routine. And now they're out of that routine. So the difficulty when we're back going live is getting them back into the routine of doing something on a Tuesday night, for instance. But yeah, everyone that I've chatted with so far is not necessarily, they haven't left the chorus. They're just not participating actively in the Zoom rehearsals.
I totally agree. Same thing is happening here. We've got a handful, maybe, 5, 6 people who are like, I don't like this. I want to sing. I just don't like, and that's okay. That's okay. Matter of fact, we just sent cards to all of them saying, we miss you. We've been thinking about you. We miss you, but we're not soliciting them to come back to Zoom because we know that there's like ixnay on the umze, right? So we just no, they're not going to come to Zoom, but we want them to know that we're thinking of them. Kelly, did you have a comment on that as well?
Not really. I like some of the ideas of reaching out. We have had a few people that have had the same thing for technological reasons or because they're overwhelmed with Zoom at work. They haven't been joining us. But these ideas are great. I probably will steal some of them.
That's good.
And may I speak to that for a moment, please?
Yes, please.
I'd like to echo Jordan's comments. I totally agree with what you're saying, Jordan. And I realize that Zoom is not for everyone for various reasons, be it technical or just simply you spend too much time on the machine anyway. I personally tend to look at it from the opposite side, and in that I think, what if this were 10 years ago, perhaps even 5 years ago? We would not have access to Zoom, and our only form of contact would be email or telephone. So I look at it from the other perspective, and in as much as I don't wish to be on Zoom all day, I very much value how fortunate we are to be able to use Zoom. Mm-hmm. I also want to speak for a moment to the importance of maintaining contact and follow-up. And we, like most of you, we have temporarily lost, shall I say, a handful of our members who, for whatever reason, don't wish to join us on Zoom. So what I did through the holidays and as recently as yesterday, as membership person, I've taken it upon myself to reach out to those members and to just say, I'm not calling for any reason. Several I did by telephone. I'm not calling for any reason other than to say to you, we miss you. I hope you're well, hope you're having a nice holiday, and please don't forget about us. So we have that. The other thing is that we have, as Judy mentioned, we've got a terrific PR team here, and we have a wonderful newsletter which goes out to our members weekly. And look, that newsletter is just golden because it keeps everybody up to date. It informs everybody of what progress we're making, what goals we have. Judy has just recently set out a marvelous program for us, establishing goals, so that even those members who aren't tuning in on Zoom weekly now know what we have planned going forward. And I think that's crucial if we do not want to lose our members. We've got to make sure that even they may not be with us right now, but we want them to feel like they are still connected, because I believe once COVID is over, we're going to have a wonderful resurgence in this hobby of ours. But meanwhile, we've got to hang on to the ones that we have now.
That's right. What a great way to reach out and know that that's what, connectivity, keep everybody in touch. Really, really good. We're almost in our last few minutes here.
Can I just say, Ann, one other thing that we also do is we record all of our Zoom meetups. And when the newsletter goes out, that recording usually is out by the end of that evening. But when the newsletter goes out, everybody is reminded, if you were not able to attend the meetup or the rehearsal, here's the link to get to it.
Yeah, that's good too. Keep them connected, keep them communicating. So yeah, the in-person rehearsals, when will that happen? I just put a thing there. It's all depending on where you are. I don't think we can breach that subject right now, because that's, I think, another class. I think we're signing up for another class here. So man, this is awesome. These people, Jordan, Kelly, Judy, Heather, and Ann, thank you so much. Wonderful. Oh,
thank you, Ann.
Thank you so much, Ann.
You're welcome. My gosh, I mean, so stupendous. I don't think there's anything. My board is very curious about another chorus doing elections installations. Yeah, we did those online, so that's during in the evening, right? Fun
Can I just add one teeny little bit of advice? We have gotten a lot of members by these 4 words. 5 words. No, 4. Do you like to sing? 5 words. And I encourage my members all the time, and I have done it. I have brought in members. I'll say, if I meet somebody who's got this really outgoing personality, say, I'm going to ask you a really strange question, and I'm going to tell you, we've gotten a lot of members by people saying, yeah, I love to sing. So please keep that in mind, folks, whether it's through Zoom or whatever. We're offering them a great gift, and go out and ask them if they want to accept this great gift.
Yeah, that's great. Absolutely. Thank you again, everybody. Thanks for taking your time here on Saturday afternoon. Yes, it is Saturday. Okay, and we'll see you again very soon, okay?